Is marriage just mutual use or something deeper? Imagine you're in a partnership, maybe you call it marriage, filled with jealousy, fear, and the need to control each other. Is that love? If we're honest, in most relationships, we tend to cling to the other person. We use them to satisfy our wants, physical desires, emotional security, validation of our self-worth. But as soon as we claim someone as mine, fear slips in. Fear of losing them, fear of being replaced, fear of change. Is that truly love, or are we caught up in a web of mutual exploitation? Thinking about love versus feeling love. We can think about the person we care for, but can we really think about love itself? Love isn't something that fits neatly into our mental pictures and plans. The moment you turn love into an idea, you've made it into a mental object, something to be analyzed and picked apart. But real love is an experience, alive, constantly moving. Our thoughts may try to pin it down, but thoughts alone can never capture its living essence. Love for one, love for all. Have you noticed that when you truly love one person, it's almost as if you open yourself up to love everything else too? When the heart is free, it's free everywhere. But if you've never known genuine affection for even one human being, then it's difficult to honestly say you love humanity. True love expands beyond the boundaries of our personal interests. It's that warm, compassionate feeling that dissolves conflicts and brings about a deep sense of joy. Relationships reveal the self-love. In a relationship shines a light on our own egos. It shows us our demands, our insecurities, and the ways we try to dominate or submit. When two people genuinely care for one another, each interaction can reveal who they really are inside. This can be unsettling because it surfaces all our hidden fears and desires. Often, instead of facing these revelations, we resist or run away. We pretend everything's fine or blame our partner. But in doing so, we lose the chance to really see ourselves. We don't truly love, we crave being loved. For many, the hard truth is that we don't actually love. We're simply hungry for love. We want someone to assure us we're good enough, that we matter. Our minds are always making calculations, seeking security, trying to keep life neat and predictable. But love doesn't operate that way. Love is open, vulnerable, and unpredictable. It cannot thrive in a world built by the calculating mind. Letting go of mine and yours. Wherever there's a sense of this person is mine, love fades. We cling to people hoping they'll never leave, never change. But love isn't about possession. It doesn't say, because you are mine, you must always behave in ways I approve. When love is present, it doesn't matter if someone fails us or disagrees with us. Our caring doesn't vanish. In real love, there's no mine or yours, just a shared experience of understanding and affection. Without love, we rely on marriage contracts. Marriage often becomes a set of rules, something we hold on to when love isn't there. We say, because we're married, you must stay. And if there's no warmth, no genuine kindness, then sex becomes a problem too. Physical intimacy without genuine affection can feel empty or turn into a source of conflict. But when love is real, the physical aspect finds its natural place. No longer a problem, just a simple expression of closeness. Satisfaction is not the same as love. Many couples function on mutual satisfaction. I give you what you want. You give me what I want. We may label that arrangement love, but it's really just exchanging favors with a bit of fondness sprinkled in. Actual love doesn't keep score or demand a return. It's like a flowing river, constantly refreshed by its own nature. The problem with forced singleness. Some people think they'll find enlightenment by shutting off their sexual desires or by staying single at all costs. But if that pursuit is driven by a desire to gain some advantage, whether spiritual or otherwise, it's just another form of calculation. The mind is still seeking a payoff, so fear persists. True purity and clarity aren't born from rigid control, but from genuine love that is free of self-centered motives. Why do sex and marriage seem so complicated? Sex itself is straightforward, a natural physical connection. Yet we fill it with mental images, fantasies, and personal expectations. We turn it into a huge emotional playground, because for many of us, it's the only time we lose our sense of me and my problems. In that brief moment, the ego dissolves. But outside the bedroom, our ego reawakens and contends with the world, money, status, opinions, beliefs, and that's often tense and painful. So we cling to sex as an escape, making it bigger than it needs to be. Instead, if we could face the root conflict, our own self-centered cravings, sex would find its natural balance in our lives, without dominating our attention. Seeing the mind's limits. Love is something deeper than a nice feeling or a sentimental mood. It isn't about worshipping another person or heroically sacrificing yourself just to prove devotion. True love contains gentleness, empathy, respect for everyone. If love is present, so is compassion. And compassion isn't theoretical, it shows up in how we treat our partner, our children, our neighbors. That's why love can transform any madness or confusion in our lives, while mere systems and social rules cannot. Is love ever permanent? We crave a permanent guarantee. If I love you, you must love me forever. But does anything in life stay fixed in place forever? We want that feeling to never fade, but love, in its true sense, is a living, fluid experience. It's not an object we can lock in a safe. If we cling too tightly, love slips away, because the very act of clinging is the opposite of loving. Where the self is important, love is absent. In a relationship, marriage or otherwise, when the spotlight is on me, my desires, my image, love vanishes. A relationship built only on each person's need for comfort soon grows dull. And from dullness arises friction and conflict. If we don't want to be consumed by this, we must investigate the very nature of our bond. Is it just a routine designed for convenience and gratification, or is there a genuine unfolding of affection and understanding? Habit kills. Love marriage often becomes a habit. We fall into daily routines, meeting each other's needs without much thought. Over time, the freshness of real love can disappear. Occasionally, there are couples who discover a deeper connection, truly sharing, truly growing. In such rare bonds, love remains alive because both people keep learning about themselves and each other. But if all we do is settle into the security of routine, without that openness, then we're not really loving. We're just going through the motions. So, is marriage just mutual exploitation? It can be, if we're only there to gratify our wants, to chase our dreams of security, and to avoid facing ourselves. When two people treat each other as tools for comfort or status, real love cannot thrive. On the other hand, if both are willing to see themselves clearly, without the masks, without the fear-based maneuvers, then marriage can be a space where love blossoms naturally. Real love doesn't cling, it doesn't demand your partner fit neatly into your expectations. It's a dance of understanding, care, and respect, where each person is free to explore life without fear of being locked into another's idea of who they should be. That's the kind of love where, paradoxically, there's no sense of mine, yet there is a deep and joyful togetherness. And in that space, marriage, or any partnership, moves beyond mere exploitation into a living, breathing communion of hearts.